How many vinegars do you have in your cupboard? If you've only got one or two, let me introduce you to a few of my favorites. I'm Susan Bowerman, registered dietitian, and vinegar is a great way to add flavor to foods with virtually no calories. First of all, what is vinegar? Basically, it's a fermented fruit or a fermented grain that's been turned into vinegar. It's just sour wine. That's where the word comes from. It comes from the French. So let me show you a few that I have here. The most common vinegars are made from grapes. So you have red wine vinegars and white wine vinegars. So as I'm pouring, you can see the difference in the color, of course. So this is the red wine vinegar. Doesn't look quite like red wine, but it is definitely from red grapes. And then the white wine vinegar, which comes from white grapes. Now these are commonly used in salad dressings and cooking applications, and the difference is really only that the white wine vinegar tends to be a little bit milder, just as white wine is a little bit milder than red. The other wine vinegar that's very popular is balsamic vinegar, which is also made from red grapes, but it's concentrated. So when you look at my balsamic vinegar as I pour it, you're going to see it's a little darker, it's a little bit thicker. It's also aged, which gives it a very mellow flavor. It's not nearly as sharp as the other vinegars. In fact, balsamic vinegar is sometimes sprinkled on top of fruit, like berries or melons, because it has a tendency to bring out the sweet taste. It's great to use in cooking. You can even just drizzle a little bit on top of some grilled chicken or fish. It makes a perfect ending for just a piece of grilled meat. The other one I have here is apple cider vinegar. So again, this is made from a fruit, but a different one. This one's made from apples. And of course, if you look at the golden color, you're seeing the reflection of the color that's in the apple. Apple cider vinegar is popular for salads. It's popular in cooking. It's popular for pickling as well if you don't really care that it might change the color of the food because it's got a little bit of a yellow tone to it. Rice vinegar, as you can see, it's a very light color. It's very, very mild in flavor. And this is one that actually can stand on its own as a salad dressing. A lot of times when people don't want to use heavy dressings, they'll just put straight rice vinegar. This one is commonly used in Asian cooking because it doesn't overpower the flavors of things like delicate vegetables. The other vinegar that's made from a grain is malt vinegar. Some people would say that's the only vinegar. So malt vinegar is made from grains that have been fermented. It's got a lovely sort of a caramel color. This is the one that's classically used with fish and chips. And the other place that it tends to work really well is with vegetables and with beans. So if you're making a bean salad, you might want to try a malt vinegar. It'll bring out the flavor of the beans. Finally, we have distilled white vinegar. And as I pour this, you can see that it looks almost like water. Distilled vinegar is the sharpest of the vinegars. It's the one that's traditionally used in pickling for two reasons. One is because it's got the clear color, it doesn't change the color of the fruits or the vegetables that you might be pickling. The other thing is that this one has a very specific amount of acidity. It has to be a specific percentage when you're doing home pickling. This one's 5%. The other vinegars might vary a little bit. So this is the one that is sort of the go-to vinegar if you're going to do home pickling. So you can see as you look across, we have all these different types of vinegars, different colors, different flavors. They're interchangeable, so play around with them a little bit in the kitchen and see what you can come up with. You might be surprised to put a different vinegar in a recipe that you never tried before, and it could change the entire flavor of your dish.